Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bench to Bold. I'm Marnie,
And I'm Alisa.
and it's just the two of us today,
I
Alisa.
love it.
Okay, so let's do some this or that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at your cup, and I so coffee or tea?
Tea.
I know, but I thought you were a coffee.
I am. But I
Okay,
had to switch.
okay,
I've already had three. I didn't sleep good last night.
okay,
So I had 3 cups of coffee,
mhm,
caffeine.
okay.
Um, and then I thought, you know what? I was cold. It's cold as shit
I
here
know,
this morning.
I know.
So I felt like, I needed something hot. So I went to Starbucks. I went to,
Okay,
you're a
big bucks.
Starbucks. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a Starbucks girl. I'm
I am.
not, but I do like their tea. So I
Mhm.
got mint tea, which
Okay,
is good and healthy for you.
okay.
No caffeine.
No caffeine. All
So
right.
yeah.
All right. So,
So I,
yeah,
s- I, um, contributed to the Starbucks fund today.
I know. I do that. I've
You know,
contributed
I'm
to that.
watching these ladies walk out with all this, frappuccinos and caramel macchiatos, and I'm listening to the lady ring her up, and I'm thinking, oh my God,
Yeah.
you can go broke.
It's expensive. It didn't used to be. The thing is, like, they were really smart in their business model where, like, they kind of got us hooked. Like,
Yeah, they reeled us
yeah.
in,
And
hook, line,
when
and
my kids
sinker.
were younger, like, I could get into Starbucks, okay, with the three kids and me. And I think if they got like each got a little treat or something like that, it was like $11. I would get a mocha. It was like 250 or something like that. And then they would each get something. Maybe they'd share a frappuccino or whatever, and then get something to eat. And now you'd have to like, I'd have to sell my kidney to feed everybody at Starbucks.
It's crazy. And
Yeah.
they're, you know what? The food, I looked at the bagels, and when you compare apples to oranges, bagels at Starbucks to pop up
Well,
bagels
there's no
or
comparison.
Poppy's
Yeah.
bagels, there's no comparison. I'm
No.
like, I'm not spending my money on that. It
Yeah.
probably tastes as horrible as it looks.
Yeah. The bagels aren't, I mean, pop-up bagels and the other place, we don't have one. We're, on the other side of the universe. But all right. So tea today, but typically coffee.
Yeah. What about you? I mean,
I'm coffee, but I'll drink tea before bed. Like I like to
yeah,
do
like a
I like
chamomile.
yeah, I like to do that. Some like sleepy time or something before bed.
Do you feel like it works?
I do, but I'm so tired when I go to bed anyway. Like I get up, so we're such early people that
Yeah.
by like 8:30 or 9, I am like ready for
Yeah. At 8 o'clock, I'm looking at my
oh
watch,
yeah,
and I'm like, God, if I go to bed now, I'll be up at 3 a.m. But you sleep all night.
I do. I do. I take the dogs out like at 8:30. It's kind of like then I tell them it's bedtime and they get excited. They're like ready to go. And then we all get in bed. But yeah, like 8:30 or 9. If it would be unusual if I'm up at like 10. Last night everybody was home, so I could hear everybody in the kitchen. And so I was up a little bit later, but
Yeah.
I wasn't participating in the regaling in the kitchen. But yeah, so for me, yeah, definitely. I like tea at night, but like decaf tea.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah. I can't have caffeine after 2 o'clock, or it distorts my sleep.
yeah, I guess I could, but it would keep me, I can feel it.
Yeah,
I can definitely. And that's just part of also
and I
aging.
hate it
Yeah,
because
the
I
aging.
want to be tired when I get into bed at 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Well,
I want to
this,
be able to fall asleep because
this
I'm not a get in your bed, read, to get sleepy. I want to get in the bed, have the lights off, not even look at my phone,
right.
and go right to sleep.
Yeah, I have a little bit of, I do like to read a little bit, but also this might be controversial, but uh, I wear socks when I sleep.
Socks while you sleep.
Hmm.
You don't get hot?
Well, the idea is, okay, that you're supposed to wear socks while you sleep, and it's just creepy. But I have, like, sleep socks, like, I have actually, like, wool sleep socks, like,
Oh, so
not
you don't have like socks that you put like, um,
compression.
no, that you put lotion in to
No,
soften your feet.
no, I have, like, special, like, wool sleep socks.
And what do they do?
Well, they keep your temperature regulated because I also keep it pretty cold in my
I do
room.
too. What do you
So
keep your thermostat on?
well, I just turn it off at night. So, I mean, it's like probably in the 63, 64
Okay.
degrees. Yeah. I mean, I don't have I'll keep it like around 64, 65, like
Okay.
between
Yeah,
that.
I keep ours on. We keep ours on 67.
Yeah.
And you can tell if it's 68
No, yeah,
or
I can't sleep that.
66.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit yeah, so I, have sleep socks that I've ordered, and, they definitely, I think, keep me
Hmm,
sleeping.
I've
Now,
never
yes,
heard of this.
you can get hot from them, but not really because it actually is supposed to it's the idea is that it regulates your whole body, your whole temperature.
Well, it kinda does, right? That's why
Mhm.
you wear those when you
Yep.
go, like, skiing or
Yes.
doing winter sports,
Yep.
because it kinda keeps your feet from getting, I
Yeah.
guess, frozen, hypothermia, or
Right.
if you wear the smart wool
The
socks.
smart wool, yeah,
Right.
and so that's what I wear wool socks, not polyester, like, not like a gym sock or whatever, but, a smart wool sock, and, they're very thick, so they don't give you like a it's not like they hurt your ankles or whatever
Okay.
when,
Yeah.
uh alright, so, yeah, so that, so tea before bed, some sleep socks, and I'm good to go. And
Okay.
then, obviously, I was gonna say morning person or night person, but we know you're more of a morning person
Yeah.
than a night
Oh,
person.
yeah, I get up early. I
Yeah.
love it. I get up with the dogs. Randy,
Mhm.
he is awake, but he lays in bed and does work. Well, he works all night. He never shuts down, basically.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I'm a morning person. I like to get up, get the dogs fed, get them outside, get them to get ready to come back in the house, and they usually have their little morning nap while I do my work and my social media stuff and
Mhm.
drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee to
Yeah.
start my day.
Yeah, that's a great I mean, for me, that's, like, the perfect way to start the day. Like, if I have
Me
to
too.
if I don't have that, like, meditation time, I have a gratitude journal and do, like, some, whatever, meditation stuff, but if I don't have that time but I always try to make that time, I can tell that, like, I'm not feeling as, grounded, and I like getting up with the dogs and taking them and feeding them and all that stuff, like because they enjoy it as well.
Yeah, they do.
And,
Mhm.
I think that, there's like an old, a rabbi told me we were talking about this, not that I talk to a lot of rabbis, but I have in my day, but that like in the Jewish world, like you're supposed to feed the animals first before you eat or before you drink. And it's a nice, like taking care of others and like doing those things. So, um, that's just like how I've done it. Like when they're eating, then I'll push the coffee button.
Well, I feel like you always take care of others before you take care of yourself.
Well, thank you. I mean, I probably do, but I mean but I definitely feed. They're like I can tell my dogs are hungry in the morning, and they're like, "Feed us." I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fine." So yeah, and they eat a lot. So but now they're only down to like we're trying to keep them on a good diet so
Yeah, we
that
have
they're
Daisy on a diet. Coco, not so much.
yeah,
She's still in her puppy growing stages, but okay. So it's cold in Charlotte right now, and
yes,
it's spring. We're into April. We're almost in the middle of April. Oh my God, I can't even believe that. So are you? It's supposed to warm up this weekend, but
hmm
are you more of a winter girl or spring or summer? What season do you like, and why?
Okay, well, first of all, wait, let's go back for 1 second when you said that yes, I think that I do we're both very similar in that caretaking
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
enjoying that, so thank
Well,
you,
we're
but
only children too,
mhm,
so we had to, care for our sick parents, and
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
so it was,
um,
yeah,
it's, being thoughtful is a life skill.
it is.
It is. I
Yeah.
mean, I think being thoughtful, because it doesn't take a whole lot, but being thoughtful. All right. So, I grew up in Philadelphia. So, like, the winters were a disaster because you're cold. I went to a school where we had to wear uniforms, and every other month they would change the rules. Like, 1 month you could wear tights, the next month you couldn't wear tights. So, it was like you had to wear a school uniform, which, to not look totally frumpy, we would hike them up as short as we could go, and then we'd want to wear tights, and then they'd be like, "No, you can't wear tights this month." So I think that I like spring and fall. If I have my way, when I lived in Southern California, I felt like it was mostly spring and fall weather.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess like I would prefer to be hot than cold.
Well, you can, yeah,
I'd prefer like I mean, I like cute winter clothes
that's
better.
me. I'm a
Like, I
winter girl.
don't like summer clothes.
I
Like, I've
hate them.
never been like, "Let me just show my body." I'm
Me
not
either.
like, I'm very self-conscious of that. So, it's never been like, "Let me put on a bikini and do all those things."
Right.
But I mean, I have them, but so I prefer turtlenecks and coats and
Cover as
a
much
hat,
as
like,
possible up.
see my eyes.
Well,
That's pretty much it. But I like the actual but the temperature wise, I don't mind it when it's warm. My hair looks a little puffy,
yeah, mine too.
but
I
that's
think we both have similar hair.
yeah,
When it's humid, it gets,
wild.
yeah, wild.
Yeah, it gets
I
wild.
call it nappy. I
Yeah,
get nappy hair.
it just gets. I
I
mean,
could never live in Florida.
uh, Florida's tough with the hair. The best
Uh,
place, like if I was gonna live someplace for my hair, it'd be Arizona.
yeah, no,
Oh
you
my
would.
gosh. Not Vegas, because Vegas still gets a little bit of humidity, but my hair looks 10 out of 10. I can step off the plane in Phoenix and be like, all right, let's
Yeah, it's
go.
amazing how it
Mhm.
changes as soon as
The
you get into
minute
that
that
climate.
it's just, I could be literally, I get off the plane, whereas
Yes,
other
and it goes
places,
flat.
absolutely. If I go to Philadelphia in the summer, it is like all bets are off. Yeah,
Yeah.
not good.
But
But
do you think it would be hard to hold curl in your hair in those
I
climates?
think it's probably harder. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I think
So
it's
you
like
would
if
have to
you
be
want,
used to having straight hair.
yeah, I'd have to get like a perm.
Or you, oh God, no.
My
That
friend
that was a
Cindy,
disaster.
we've talked about this.
Shit.
My friend
We
Cindy,
have.
her mom got a freedom perm. It was like 1976. So, of course, it was like freedom and it was like tight ringlets, freedom perm. Mrs. Manning.
Yeah,
Yep.
we had that conversation. I had that done to me in ninth grade. Oh my God. It was a disaster. I was so embarrassed. I had to wear my hair in a damn banana clip for God, I don't even know how long.
I
I
think
felt like it was half the school year.
my stepbrother, boys got perm. My stepbrother got a perm.
Oh
Mhm.
God.
Yeah, it was
Randy
bad.
has naturally curly hair that looks like he gets a perm if he lets it grow out.
Okay.
Like it'll start to grow out
Yeah.
around the base of his neck or
Uh-huh.
somewhere, and it gets real tight curly. It's kind
Yeah.
of cute, but I can't. Yeah, he has a picture hanging on his parents' wall of him when he was a hot 18-year-old with
With,
brown, curly ringlet, curly hair.
oh, wow.
Yeah, and a mustache.
Oh my
Imagine that.
gosh.
I'll have to
That's
share that
yeah.
picture with you.
I wanna see it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
mustache. That's pretty
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty funny. I feel like I just escaped like the guys having mustache thing.
Ugh.
Like when
Like Burt Reynolds.
yeah, no, like I mean, I'm old enough to like I remember it, but like in high school, they didn't allow facial hair in high school, but like even in college, like the mid to late, like the late 80s, like no one was really doing the mustache. I think like a little bit beforehand, like early 80s, that was like the mustache thing.
Yeah, he had the whole mustache thing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine my husband. He used to strip in Charlotte in bars for money and wear, baby blue suits and white patent leather shoes and take it all off
Oh
down to
my
a
gosh.
hammock, a
A
banana
banana
hammock.
hammock.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would have loved to have seen
Oh
that.
my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Randy with a mustache, curly brown hair, and a baby blue suit with patent leather shoes, stripping in Charlotte bars.
well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, Elisa. That's what in
He
anything.
yeah,
You
from
don't
stripper to
right,
lawyer.
right,
Yeah,
exactly. So not just remember everybody, this is bench to bold. It's not how you start,
right, it's
it's
how
how you
you
finish.
finish.
That's it. And just got to keep going.
He's
Got to
going out with a bang.
right. So, I mean, and that's true. I mean, and so, yeah, I mean, obviously, we like our bench moments because they give us the bold moments. Like,
Absolutely.
without those moments, you don't have any ability to navigate and to understand what it takes to get to the next level or what you want for yourself or any of those things. Okay. So, let's say, um, all right. Would you rather have like a night in or a night out?
Well, that depends.
Okay.
Okay, I hate rain.
Mhm,
So, and all most people that know me very well know two things. I hate rain and I love candy.
mhm.
I hate rain. So, if it's raining, I'm staying in. I'm
Okay.
voting to stay in.
And where did this,
I don't
dislike of
know. I
rain?
just hate rain. And okay. So funny. We were just talking about hair. I think because you can't look good in your clothes or
Right.
feel good. You can really, it's pouring rain and your hair, it's a
Yeah.
mess when it rains,
It's
especially when it's summer and it rains
yeah,
because it's humid.
it's humid.
Yeah. So I think, uh, the first soccer game this season, I look on the radar. I'm like, my mom said, you should have been a meteorologist. So I look and I tell my husband, and it was a big game. It was a home opener, Charlotte FC. They had all things planned. We got invited to this thing. before the game started, and I look on the radar and it says rain. Now we all know in Charlotte that it can rain in South Charlotte and
Mhm.
not rain at the stadium.
Right.
However, I told my husband I looked at the radar and it was going right over the stadium
Mhm.
for most of the night.
Right.
So we opted not to go and go watch it at our restaurant, and we had fun. However, they won. It was a great game and there was no rain at the stadium.
I mean, it does. Like I mean, out like it just. Yeah. I mean, there are
Yeah,
certain bubbles. I think that that is interesting about the weather here in the Carolinas is that there are these pockets where
there
it
are.
might rain in one area, and it's like it's not raining where I am.
It's the same thing with snow.
Yeah.
It can snow at the lake,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Well, we had it.
85 is
Yeah.
like the corridor of
Hmm.
snow. It can snow north of 85 and
Right.
south of 85 be dry.
Yep.
Same
Yeah.
thing with rain. You get a ton of rain at the lake.
Yeah.
It storms. It feels like it goes over Iredell County in the summertime really bad. It always storms at the lake.
Well, it was really good when my kids were in school because with the weather, because we're at the tip of the county and it goes pretty far north. And so if they got snow far north, which we didn't get any snow, but because they would I
Call
mean,
school
they would
off.
call yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, all right, there's no school. I mean, and that was always a great thing. I mean, I always liked having growing up and having snow days, that was like the most fun
Yeah.
because
Because you didn't have them that much in California.
no,
I
we
mean, you
never
had
had them.
them.
I
I mean,
created my own snow days with my kids. I'd be like, "You know what? It's snowing in Philadelphia. No school
I love
today."
that.
And then we would just hang out and pretend it was a snow day, and, that was always a fun thing to do, yeah, because we had earthquake days
Yeah,
occasionally,
that's what I was going to say. You
but,
had earthquake days.
yeah, I mean, those were not so fun. I mean, thankfully, we never had any real problems with it, but you do get earthquakes. I mean, you do. Natural disasters are
Yeah.
just part of, wherever you live.
No, we get them here.
Yeah.
Smaller ones on much smaller scale, but there's a fault line that goes right through, North Carolina.
Yeah. All right. So we've done a bunch of episodes on Bench to Bold. What has been the highlight of doing the show?
I guess, the highlights meeting so many interesting people. Like today, we
Hmm.
had two interesting women, and we have one, an interesting gentleman that's going to be on our show later today. But I mean, just interesting stuff. We've had some great people on our podcast.
Yeah.
I found out things about people that, you would never imagine
I mean, the
that are doing
willingness
great
that, right.
things.
And I think people really do want to, I mean, everybody, there used to be this segment on, maybe it was CBS or something, CBS, that Sunday morning show, which I used to really like. And it was, the idea was like everyone has a story. So the guy would go wherever. He would take a blindfold himself, have a map of the country, throw a dart at the map.
And that's where he'd go.
Yes, but it got even more precise. And he would go to, like, say it was, Altoona, Pennsylvania. Okay. He would get to Altoona and then he would go back when there were phone books. He would go to look up a phone book. Okay. And just kind of randomly just turn the phone book or whatever it was and then find a person, identify that person, and then go to their house and ask them for their story. And now I'm sure some people will be like, go away,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
weird, with a whole news crew or whatever. But most people would share their story, and everybody has a story.
Everybody has a story.
Everybody does. And it's like, that's what's so interesting that obviously some stories are certainly more interesting, maybe, or more exciting, or maybe more visually interesting. But the fact is, everybody has a story,
Mhm.
even if it's not some large, wild story of success or whatever it is, but everybody has a story.
I think everybody has a bench to bold story.
Yeah, everybody does.
Regardless how
Yeah.
successful you are,
Mhm.
there's still areas of your life where you're really bold.
Yep.
Then you have been benched.
Yeah, I mean, because that's just, unfortunately, you know, that you have moments that are hard. And I think, this is like I see these things like what would you tell your 10-year-old self? What would you tell your 10-year-old self?
Oh, what would I tell my 10-year-old self? I mean, probably what my parents instilled in me still today is to be independent and don't depend on anyone.
Hmm.
Yeah. Which made me the person I am today. Get the
Yeah.
education. The education got me the jobs. Had I not had a graduate degree, I wouldn't have been able to have some of the jobs that I had because they required a graduate degree. So I would tell my 10-year-old self still the same thing. I mean, I would take a little bit different trajectory,
Hmm.
but that's what we really, are fortunate if we have parents to as mentors to lean in on to give us that trajectory that we all need to be successful. And some people don't have that, but they obviously thankful that some mentors, coaches, and teachers are able to be mentors to kids that don't have parents at home to
Mhm.
actually mentor them. But I was fortunate, you were fortunate to have that, who shaped us and made us who we are today, being independent women and doing big things.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really something I think that that having the uh somebody, somebody just to and it could be, we were fortunate we had family members to do those to do that guidance for us, but not everybody has that. So I think that but that's really what the whole thing about everybody has a story. So, with Bench to Bold, I think that we can uh connect with our viewers on the fact that we're really relatable in many ways because we're all human and we're all making mistakes and we're all learning and trying to figure things out and doing things. And, some of us are doing many things at the same time, and that's a great thing. Some of us are, doing whatever it is that they're choosing to do. But that when we have people on, that they share their stories about how they've got to where they are and where they were, and that they're willing to come and talk about it with us is something that's such a huge
Mhm.
compliment because not everybody wants to share their stories because not every story is people want to completely download, but I think it's something that I've really enjoyed getting to hear a lot of things and see a lot of people that have gone this circuitous route. My mom would always say it's like it's never a straight line, it's always a circuitous path,
Mhm.
always.
And stories help other people,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
It helps them figure out a lot of things.
Yes.
Um,
All right. So we know that you love candy. I think I asked you this last time, but you're more, but you like more like gummies over chocolate,
yeah, I mean,
right?
I love chocolate. I said that before, but if I'm going to choose, I'm that girl that's going to pick a Fireball or going to pick a Tootsie Roll
Right.
or Laffy Taffy or um, that kind of candy.
All right. So this isn't a this or that, but well, it kind of is. What's the most okay? Where has been like what place have you visited that was like the best place you've ever gone?
Well, I love New York.
Right.
But
Okay.
outside of that, my heritage is Italian, and
Hmm.
I love Florence. I mean, I love all of Italy. I've not seen all of Italy. We're actually going to Milan for the first time in a month or so, so I'm excited about it. We're going to Milan and the Dolomites and Venice. I've been to Venice before. Randy has not, but I love Florence. Out of all the places that I've visited in Italy, Florence is probably my favorite place. I think maybe Milan's going to be a favorite for me too because I love fashion. So I'm really excited about going to Milan for the fashion, but I love traveling abroad. I mean, you get to see things that and learn things that we can't do here and learn here in the United States. I mean, there's so much history, you know, traveling abroad. I mean, there's a lot of history here in the United States too, but my favorite place on earth will always be New York, but second to that would probably be Florence. What about you?
Well, let's see. I mean, I certainly I like I like being out of the country and I've, experienced many great places. I think that beauty-wise, my favorite place is probably Jackson, Wyoming,
Mhm.
just because I mean, I love Pebble Beach also up in
It's
Northern
beautiful there.
California,
Yeah.
but to me, it's just I like places that uh, like it has a lot of things that I enjoy, just the
Mhm.
nature part of it. And I think that it always looks different to me. So like each time I go, it'll be, and I haven't been in a couple years, but the mountains have snow on it or they don't have snow, but it's just like those kind of things. And I've got great memories from being there.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a great place. And but if I wasn't there, I would say certainly, like, Northern California has some pretty
Mhm.
places
They
as
do.
well, you
Yeah.
know?
I
But,
agree.
it's what they say is, "It's not what you do, it's who you do it
It's who
with."
you do it with
And,
and what
like
you make of it.
yeah, and, I've been great places, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I just wanna go back to my
Right?
bed. Let me get out of here, please."
Oh,
Yeah,
tell me
you
about it. I
know?
traveled Big Sur and A1A with 2 different men that I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? Get me back to Winston-Salem now. Can I?"
Right, like,
You wanna hear a
pronto.
funny story before
Yeah,
we end
of
this?
course.
Okay. I spent 24 hours in Mexico.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
I'm working in a nursing home in Greensboro, North Carolina. I was in my early 20s. Ended up dating a guy that worked as a physical therapy assistant in this nursing home. He invited me to go with him and 14 friends to Cancun.
Okay.
Miss Little Winston-Salem had never been out of the country. So I head to Cancun, Mexico with
Oh
him
my
and
gosh.
14 others. He
Mhm.
asked me late, so they had already booked their trip. They did an all inclusive in one of those big hotels in Cancun. And he said, I don't know if you'll be able to get the armband to get all the drinks free and all the things, right? And I said, well, that's fine. And they also had their plane flight booked. Their plane was sold out. So my aunt worked for the airways. She gave me a buddy pass because they still gave those away at that time. Now, granted, this was almost 20 years ago. And so so I get a different we my plane leaves around the same time and we get to Cancun about the same time. So we land, it's probably 4 o'clock. We
Mhm.
get to our hotel, we sit in the lobby. We all get in this room where they have us come in. We're in a circle and they're giving out the armbands. So they give me an armband. They thought I was just one of the people. They didn't check any kind of ID or whatever you do. So I get the armband. Now, I don't drink, so I didn't care about the armband or not.
Mhm.
I cared more about the food than the drink. But I think if I remember correctly, I think the armband was for alcohol. So I'm like, okay, I could care less about this armband. So everybody goes upstairs, takes their bags up to the room, changes, gets into the swimsuit or whatever. And I'm thinking, damn, it's getting ready to be 5 o'clock. When are we eating? People are, I'm like, what are we doing now?
Mhm.
Now, mind you, these people like drink. The guy I was with, his go-to was wild turkey rare breed. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
I
god.
don't even know what that is. I knew what wild turkey was, but I didn't know there was one called wild turkey rare breed. So okay, they start drinking, we go, okay, so it's like 7:38, and I'm going, when are we gonna eat? Like, can I get something to eat? Well, I didn't realize this, but they had something in the restaurant in the downstairs of the lobby of the hotel that was all inclusive. So I go in there and get a little, appetizer, we'll call it. They're like, we're going out, but we're not going till like 9 or 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God, you know? So, okay. So I'm rolling with it. And I'm like, where are we going? Senor Frogs. So here we go to Senor Frogs. We get there. It's 10 o'clock. Everybody's I don't even remember what the food was, but anyway, it was all I could see was drinks flying, and I saw this big red drink and I asked I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, what is that? It looks interesting. And I'd never been out of the country. And, this is what they do in Mexico, apparently in Cancun. And it's called a hurricane. And it had like 10 straws in it. It was
Mhm.
huge. Have you ever seen it?
I've seen a scorpion bowl. It's the same
Okay,
idea.
same idea. So
Mhm.
here we are. Everybody's partying and having a good time. So I'm curious, I'm like, what is this? So the server walks over and asks if I want it. And I'm talking, just him and I. It was a guy, him and I. And mind you, the guy that I was with he was already 3 sheets to the wind. So we'll call it. And he sees this guy and I talking. And I'm just asking him what is this? I'm interested. So he's telling me, the guy's explaining what the drink is. He goes away and I'm standing there and here comes the guy I'm with and lays me out. Like, what are you doing? Every time I walk away, you're talking to some dude. So I get I'm thinking, okay, what are we gonna do here?
Mhm.
So now we had touchdown at 4 o'clock. It's, 6 hours we've been in Cancun. I get in, I leave, he was a hot mess. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I had to be strategic here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out, get in myself in a taxi, go back to the hotel room, and that's just what I did. So I got back to the hotel room, and number one, I'm 23 years old, I believe, at the time, 23, 24. I get into a taxi cab with some strange man that
Mhm.
doesn't speak English. He was very nice and dropped me off at the Lost something Americana. And I go in, get in my little nighties and get in bed. And I made a plan. I thought, you know what? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up. I'm not going to spend the rest of my vacation this way. So Friday morning, I wake up. Well, let's back up. He comes in, it's like 5 in the morning, and I'm like pretending to be asleep. And he stumbles in, and we were in a two-step kind of condo. It's all obviously ceramic tile in Mexico. He falls down that, gets in finally gets into the bed, passes out, and I'm like, okay, now I can get up, get out. So I get up and I get out and I'm tiptoeing around, and I'm like, oh gosh, I had my jewelry and stuff was locked in the safe. So I'm like looking for the key. They had a key to the safe. It was not one of those
Right.
computerized safes. So it was a key. So I found the key in his suitcase, get into that. Accidentally, I really accidentally did this. Accidentally hurried up and just threw my stuff in the suitcase, changed, threw the key in my suitcase, locked it back and threw the key in my suitcase and didn't mean to, and left with it. Get to the air, get in the car, get in the taxi, call my aunt, told her to get me a buddy pass home. Don't ask any questions, just get me home. I literally got on a flight. The airport was closed the morning because there was one flight out a day, one
Uh-huh.
flight in, one flight out. I had to sit at the airport, like outside for like 2 hours before the airport opened. Then I went in, sat there all day until I think the flight took off at 1 o'clock. Touchdown in Charlotte, was back in Winston-Salem before 24 hours.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Good for you.
I mean,
What else were you gonna do?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't. That was
No.
a long story, but yeah,
It's not what you do, it's who you do it with.
it's who you do
And
it
I am
with.
so glad that we are doing this, Alisa.
Likewise.
Mhm.
This has
So,
been fun. It's
yeah.
been a fun journey.
Yes.
But
So it
yeah,
was
so
right.
make
Remember,
sure
folks.
make sure you choose wisely who you do things with.
Yeah.
I
And
learned a lot from that.
well, I mean, part of it is that those are moments that you do
Right.
learn and you take you take the licks and then you just keep on going.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
it was a good story.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
a great
Thank you
story.
for sharing
Yeah.
that. And to be continued. I
Yeah.
kind of want to ask more questions. We're out of time.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for following along on our bench to bolt journey. We are very grateful. I'm Marnie.
And I'm Alisa.
And
And until next time.
that's right. See you all soon.